Thank you for tuning in to the Mindful Babes podcast. I'm your host, Valerie Adams, mindset coach, entrepreneur, and manifestation enthusiast. I am obsessed with supporting you in living the life of your dreams. Each week, I'll be providing you with a quick bite of mind food so you can live the life that you were put on this planet to live. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Let's dive in. Hello, beautiful, amazing people. I'm so happy to be on live. I've been on a spree where I'm like wanting to come on, wanting to connect, wanting to share. I'm having all these messages really coming through and not just messages per se, but really wanting to share the things that I've been moving through, the things that I've been healing from, learning, growing into, embodying on a deeper level. It's like, it's so good. I just want to share it with you. I want you to hear it too. So what I really want to talk to you about today is what the universe does, how the universe really will support and assist and jump in and get our attention so that we'll be quote unquote forced to change things that are not working for us, to change patterns that are not working for us, not serving us anymore, and really why this happens. Okay. So the easiest way I know to talk about this is to share a little bit about what's going on with me personally, what's been going on, the last couple months is just really having this experience of not being pleased with my external reality. And of course, there's always things that we get to be grateful for. I do feel so blessed as a human being. I do feel so happy with the life that I've created. And of course, I think it's healthy to have kind of that insatiable appetite of knowing that there's more, knowing that there's another level, knowing that there's a deeper place to go with it. And for me personally, I was at a place where I was like, this ain't it. Like, I know there's more. I know that there's more to create, more lives to touch, more, this feeling of like, I want more. And what ended up really happening was I reached this place where I had to look at, okay, why is this showing up? And here's the thing that happens is that when we're in a place where we're not super happy, where we're not feeling super empowered in our lives, what our ego likes to do, that's when our ego likes to jump in and go, oh, actually, this is where you should be paying attention. So the ego jumps in, and my experience was that my ego jumped in and was trying to bring my attention to all these things outside of me and telling me the story of, once this changes, or you got to change this, then you will feel happy. Then like, this is the missing piece. And so what ended up happening was I was focusing on the things out there, right? Who here has experienced that? Who here can relate to this, where it's like, that there's so many things in your life that you want and you want to achieve and you want to feel excited about. And at the same time, all you can focus on is, how do I make that happen? How do I change this? How do I create this? And you go into this place where you believe it's all up to you. Okay. Let me know if that lands for you. And the thing is that what your ego will have you do, and I'm saying, and when I'm telling you, this is how it is, this is what happens. The reason I'm saying that is because I have lived this many times. I have seen so many of my clients experience this. It's like, your ego is always going to be looking for something outside of you to fix. And guess what happens? You fix one thing, there's another thing, or that thing's not good enough, or there's another layer to that. And you're always on this hamster wheel. So I was at that place of being like, I know that there's more. And what I was doing was I was letting the voice of my ego be way, way louder than the whispers of my soul. Have you ever experienced this, where you feel like your ego has the microphone, you feel like your ego has the center stage, and your ego is telling you, this is how it is, this is what you need to change, this is what you need to do. And you're like, okay, all these things need to change. And so what ended up happening was my outward focus was on, these people need to act differently. My clients need to do this differently. This person in my DMs need to do this differently. My audience needs to do this differently. And I was in so much judgment of what other people needed to be doing to
not only validate me, but I was convinced that that was the missing piece, was that once these things changed, once these people changed, once these people started doing something differently, then and only then would things be changing for me. And so this is what happens, right? When we're displeased with something on the outside, right? Anything in our physical reality, which anything that's here in our physical reality, we created it from, up here at some point in time, right? Anything that we now have in our physical reality was created and manifested from us internally at some point in time, right? I mean, just in general, right? It's like Disneyland didn't just get there. It was thought of and manifested and created, right? It all starts with our thoughts. And so what ends up happening is that when you're thinking about things you want to change, you start going into action and how and doing, right? So that's like, and it's how we're conditioned too. You don't like something, go change it. You don't like something, go make it happen, right? You don't like your job, go on Indeed right now and submit your resume to a million places. You don't like where you live, go on Zillow and find somewhere else to live. You don't like being single, go download the dating apps, go on dates. You don't like, what's showing up in your business, go out and sell more things. It's like we're so conditioned to think of actions, right? And that's coming from our ego. That's coming from the place of, I have to make something happen. I have to do the heavy lifting. I have to change things outside of me so that I will be pleased. Okay, so who can relate to this? Who's like, yeah, that's me, right? It's good to an extent, right? Because it's a fact. We get to take action, right? Things don't just come out of thin air. Your soulmate isn't just going to come knock on your door when you're watching Netflix on a Friday and you're hiding out in your house and you never go out. Your soulmate isn't just going to knock on your door and say, hey, I thought you'd be here. I want to meet you and date you. It's like, no, action happens, right? Your dream business isn't going to come chase you down and say, hey, come build me. Like, hey, come do this. Hey, here's the evidence that it's going to work here. It's like, yes, that action is important, but when we're taking it from an ungrounded place and we're taking it from a place of need and lack and I need this to be fixed, then we're only going to get more of the same, right? So whatever we're putting out, we are a match for more of the same. Okay, so where I was at, the last couple months, and this was like, it's a journey, right? When you have a big realization in your life of like, holy crap, this is not what I want, right? This is not happening the way I want to. This is not the way I envision things to be. Yes, you can make a decision to shift quickly. And there's layers to that because there's, of course, where we get to take responsibility. How did I get here? How did I create this? How did this come to be in my physical reality? Who was I being? What was I thinking? What was I buying into? What was I projecting that had me create this, right? So things don't just happen. Things don't just appear. They are created. And so taking an honest look at myself, right? I was like, okay, well, Valerie, everything I know to be true, everything I've experienced, everything I've helped so many clients with over the years, what I know to be true is that it always comes back to me, right? There's always a mirror to be held up and the mirror always faces me. So anything in my physical reality, it's like, well, how did this get here? Let me hold up the mirror and look at the person who created it. It's me, right? It's always us. And so for me, what ended up happening was I was like, first the shame layer can come, right? So let me know if you can relate to this, especially if you are a coach, if you are someone who, helps other people for a living, or maybe you're that friend that everyone goes to for advice. You're the one who has it all together. Maybe you have the amazing job, you have the business, or you have your financial situation on lock. Like you're that person who you're like, I know that I've got this figured out. I know that this is something that, I have dialed in. And there could be a moment in time, there could be a point in time where, oh, I don't have it figured out. Oh, I'm fumbling over this. Oh, I shouldn't struggle with this at my level. You have that story come up and it's this layer of shame and you feel like, wow, I'm not supposed to be struggling with this. I'm not supposed to have a problem with this. I'm not supposed to be, I'm not supposed to be like still here. And so when we have shame and we, have this like shame, blame, guilt, energy around what we're experiencing, we're actually prolonging and we're blocking out the deep healing and the deep acceptance and the deep, transformation that can actually happen from that space. And so for me personally, my ego wanted to jump in, which it did. And, I didn't let it stay for long, but my ego was like, this is what you help people with. How can you preach this? How is this showing up for you? Right? People pay you lots of money to help them with this, and you're having this show up in your own life. Oh my gosh. Right. And then my ego wanted to tell me all these crazy stories, right? You're not supposed to do this. What are you doing? But here's the lesson. And here's what I realized is that anything that shows up for us that we think, I should know this, I shouldn't be here, this shouldn't be an issue, I thought I was been here, done that, I thought I was above this, it's showing up again because there's another layer, there's another level, there's another piece to the puzzle, there's another code, there's another piece of wisdom for you to learn and embody. Because when did you decide, and this is especially for you if you are a coach or you are a leader in some way where you help people with something. It could even be if you're in the corporate world, maybe you're a sales manager or something like that. Maybe you're in real estate and you mentor people. Like, there is a reason, if you want to have mastery, if you want to be someone who's highly sought after or someone who people learn from and they look up to you, part of that, the unspoken part of that, is that you are committed to learning. You are committed to being a student of life for life. Okay, so how powerful of a leader will you be? A mentor? Will you be a coach? Will you be if 3 years from now, you're like, yep, that thing that I help people with, I haven't struggled with it in 3 years. It hasn't shown up at all. Right away, it shows up. I dismiss it. I don't need it. It's gone. Like, no, no, we are always given an opportunity to deepen, to learn, to heal, to embody on a deeper level the lessons we're meant to live and learn. Okay. So that's really what I got to accept was I was like, oh, Valerie, this is not showing up to punish you because you're bad, because you did it wrong, because you wasted time. Like, no, this is actually part of the medicine that you're going to be sharing with other people. So this is your initiation right now. This is your portal to walk through right now. This is your chance to even deeper embody and grow through this so you can turn around and help other people, right? What do you expect? Do you expect, and then this is my voice to myself, do you expect your clients to be growing and evolving and you're up here looking down on them and saying, learn those lessons? No, you're growing with them and we're all growing together. Because if I were to stop growing and my clients, the people in my audience, the people I deeply want to impact are growing, they're going to pass me by and I'm not going to be the teacher for them anymore. And that's okay. We're not meant for everyone forever all the time. But the thing is that you're signing up to grow for life and you're actually in partnership with people who also want to grow, right? And it's not about, oh my God, someone might get ahead of me. There's no like competition or anything like that. That's very 3D. Really what it is that you're signing up for leadership and leaders are constantly growing. And the thing with growth is we would like to think it comes on our own terms, right? It feels beautiful and dandy when I say, I'm going to read this book and I'm going to grow. I'm going to take this course and I'm going to grow. And we think that we have control over how we learn lessons, but we don't. We do not have control over that. And so the universe will intervene. The universe will get our attention when it's time to learn a lesson. And a lot of the times the universe is, whispering to us. It's like subtly trying to get our attention, but we're not always ready to learn the lesson. So what ends up happening is that the universe, and remember, the universe is loving, the universe is abundant, the universe is so giving, and it wants you to evolve and learn. And so it's never going to punish you. If it's the 50th time it has to remind you, it's never going to punish you and say, you're bad, you should have learned this by now. The universe is, with love, going to say, okay, she really gets to learn the lesson now. So sometimes the universe will do quote unquote extreme things to get your attention. And this is where contrast comes in, right? So the contrast that you can experience as a business owner, for example, is maybe there's a way that you've been operating your business. Maybe there's a way that you've been selling, a way that you've been working, a way that you've been doing that actually is not in the highest alignment for your good. It's not something that's sustainable. It's not something you're meant to be doing. It's something that got you here, but it's not meant to get you there. And the reasons are sometimes, the universe sees it, but we don't. We can't see it from our current vantage point. And so sometimes as a business owner, and, let me know if this has happened to you, maybe there's a strategy you used to use, or a way you used to sell, or the way you used to work, or a certain energy you used to really turn on in your business, and you go and do the same thing that's tried and true, and you don't yield the results you used to. Like, I'll raise my hand. This has happened to me multiple times over the years, right? I've had these like, oh, this is what I did last time. Perfect. This is going to give me the results I want. Perfect. Let me do this again. And it's like, same thing, same strategy, same action, same steps, but I didn't get the results I wanted. Why is that? It's because you're not the same person, and you're ever evolving. Ever evolving means that you're always evolving. You're not stopping, right? And so when something was for you a year ago, when something was for you 2 years ago, when something was for you 6 months ago, that's perfect. But you're not meant to just keep doing the same things over and over again and keep getting what you want. And so the contrast that the universe gives can be really, really beautiful, because it's going to help you see, oh, okay, this is not actually what I want. There's actually something better. There's actually something more aligned. What is it? Another way contrast can show up is not having the money you want in your physical reality. Who here has experienced that? I'm sure we all have, right? At a certain point in time, you want your bank account to be higher. You want to be making more money. You want more abundance. And it's not here. It's not here in this moment in your 3D physical reality. And so the universe is giving you this experience, and it's giving you an opportunity to choose something different. So again, the 3D ego way of looking at it is, I want more money, so let me go out there and go work, get another job, that side hustle, sign another client. And yeah, maybe those actions will work, but the actual place you want to focus is your alignment with money. Focus on your relationship with money. Focus on how that can look. Focus on what that would mean, right? That's where it all is. That's where everything matters and comes together, is focusing on your relationship with it directly. And so this is where the universe holds up a mirror and goes, okay, so you want this, this, and that, but who are you being right now? What are you a match for right now? And it's never to get in self beat up and decide I'm doing it wrong. I'm not enough. I'm messing up. But it's like, if you say you want this, who are you being? What energy are you putting out there, right? Are you a match to that thing now? And so, as many of you know, I used to be a dating coach where I exclusively worked with single women who had the intention of attracting their dream partner. And the work was really, inner work focused, because I didn't have any secret strategies. I didn't have any secrets of like, oh, download this app and sign on at this time and do this and post this picture. And, if, oh, you live here, go to this place and guys will be there. It's like, yeah, I knew some practical things to do, but it was really all inner game focused, because I knew that for my clients to have success with attracting their dream partner, it was never about what they were doing. It was about who they were being, what they were choosing into, the energy they were embodying. And so the focus was always the inner work, right? Their beliefs about love, their beliefs about what they were worthy of, their beliefs about what they could have, their beliefs about what they couldn't have, what they saw modeled to them from their parents, like all that stuff added up to them attracting their dream partner, right? So if you're in an experience where you're like wanting more money, where you're wanting, I don't know, where you're just wanting something that's vastly different than what your current reality is mirroring back to you, it's not about going out and doing the action that's going to bring more in. It's about that alignment within yourself first. And, I know that when I'm sharing this with you, it's probably feeling you're like, oh yeah, totally. We know this and we forget it. And the reason why we get the same lesson over and over again is because there's more to learn. There's another layer. There's something deeper there for us. So there's never any reason to feel shame of like, why am I not learning this? Why am I not getting this right? There is no right or perfect. It's another layer to learn. And what I want to offer you, especially if you are a coach, if you are a leader, if you are someone who you mentor people, people look up to you, this is going to be your edge. This is your edge, is the fact that you're still walking through this, that you're still experiencing this, but it looks different, right? So the fears and the problems that you had a year ago are different from the ones you have now. And it's not that it's like, oh, good for you, you have bigger fears now or different fears now. It's that that's a sign that you're learning and evolving. Right. And so what happens with a lot of my clients is they will have an experience of having a fear, having a belief, and, through the work we do or the work on their own, whatever, they will tackle that. And they'll literally no longer resonate with that belief again. They're like, can't believe I had that. That doesn't, oh, I came in here thinking this, and now 3 months later, I don't believe that at all. And there's going to be another fear that pops up down the road, and that's perfect, right? We're not meant to be fearless. We're not meant to be problemless. We're not meant to never have down times, right? Like, we are not here to be perfect. That is an illusion. That is a standard that you've created. And nobody, especially soulmate clients, soulmates, period, nobody is looking at you and saying, but she's not perfect. She's still, that problem still shows up for her. She was supposed to already know that. That's you. That's your own judgment, right? Holding up the mirror. That's your own judgment. And you deciding this means something about me if this is showing up again. I want to offer you that it's perfect, that it's all part of your journey. It's the medicine that you are going to turn around and give to somebody else. You have stories, you have lessons, you have wisdom. Wisdom does not come from sitting on your ass and staying in your comfort zone, staying in your shell. Wisdom comes from going out there and living. And to me, that's a rich existence. Wisdom, right? Why do we love sitting around? I'll speak from my experience. I love hearing stories from my grandparents. I love connecting with elderly people and just hearing their wisdom, hearing what they've lived through, like hearing about the lessons they've learned. That's a rich life to me. It's like, oh, they kept picking up lessons. Like, here's what they thought when they were younger, and now here's what they believe. Here's what they know from living for X amount of time. And the beauty about, being in a leadership position, again, whether you're a coach, whether you are like a mentor, whether you have a corporate job and you help train people, that's the beautiful thing, is that you're always collecting and learning, and there's more and more and more. And so, tying it back to what I recently went through is, once I got out of that little cute shame spiral that my ego had me in of, oh, I shouldn't be going through this. This shouldn't be happening. I'm not supposed to be here. I was able to learn the greatest lesson again in a deeper way, in a way that really penetrated my being, was that, oh, it's about me. It's not about them. It's not about the people in my DMs. It's not about what my clients are doing. It's not about what this other coach is doing. It's not about what this rude person said. It's not about my partner. It's not about the weather. It's not about the retrogrades. It's not about the pandemic. It's not about any of that. It's about me. Comes back to me. And so here's the shortcut. Here's the cheat code, is that when there's something in your physical reality that you do not like, that you want to change, that you want to have it look completely different, this should excite you, by the way. I want this to excite you. You don't need to go out and change anything. You don't even need to go take action in this very moment. Because what's actually going to shift things the fastest and make it permanent is you doing the work with you looking in the mirror with you talking to you deciding new things with you loving you forgiving you deciding what you want. That's going to change things so much faster than going out and just tackling it head on and taking all this action. So if there's anything happening in your life right now, and I intuitively feel like, whoever is listening to this right now, that there's something in your physical reality that you're in the mindset of like, if this changes or when this changes, then I'll be happy. Or it's like, oh, I'm so unhappy with the money in my bank account or my clients or lack of clients, or, how this launch is going or how this is happening at my company or whatever. If there is something in your physical reality that you are not liking and you are stressed because you think it's going to take a lot, air quotes, a lot to change it, I want you to be in the consciousness of, who do I get to be? What do I get to shift within me? What's another way of seeing this that I haven't been seeing it? What's another way to look at this? What's another way that I could be in relationship with what's showing up? Okay, perfect. Let me focus on that. So get off the hamster wheel, get off the treadmill of, oh, I need to keep changing these things, or a lot is going to need to shift for this to change. And actually, it can be quite fast when you decide that you will change, because it's really, really seductive and attractive to believe that things are working against you. This is something it's very easy to fall into victim. It's really easy to fall into victimhood and be in the story of, I'm doing everything right. Why am I not getting this? Right? Because it's way more comfortable to think that things just aren't working, or all these things are going wrong outside of you, or these people are being annoying. It's because she did this person said this person's not buying, this person did this in my business. It's so much easier to focus on that than to bring it back to you and actually look at you. And whenever we fall into victim, whenever we fall into complaining, we're like getting further and further away from our desires. We're like actually putting a wall and a shield up. And so, this is also a big reason why I personally do not believe, and I'm not enrolled in this idea. This is not something I subscribe to. This is not something that I put energy into. I don't believe that the universe is testing us. I don't, because it's like, if I were to believe, like, if there's something in my life happening that I don't like, what is that going to do for me if I'm like, the universe is testing me? God, the universe keeps testing me. I don't want to be at war with the universe. I don't want to believe in a universe that has been providing for me and loving me since the moment I was born. I don't want to believe that the universe is like trying to, test me and I failed and they're trying to, make me feel wrong or bad, or I did it wrong and now the universe is punishing me. Like, that's not how it works. In my experience, my belief, you can believe what you want. This is, for me, I believe that the universe is always on my side. I believe that the universe is always conspiring. I believe that even in the moments where I'm so frustrated, where I want to tear my hair out, which happens to all of us, I want to believe that the universe still loves me, that the universe is doing something behind the scenes, orchestrating something, concocting something, rearranging something, because it's helping my highest good. It's for my highest good. Right. And so I really invite you to be in the question of, what types of conversations are you having about the things that are showing up in your life? Are you complaining about them? Are you wanting pity from other people? Are you playing the victim? Like, is that happening? Right. And that's why I'm literally allergic to complaining, right? To people complaining. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I immediately invite, if I ever have a client who's like complaining or whatever, like, I invite them into power, because when we complain, we're giving our power away, right? Why would I complain about what people who aren't even clients are saying in my DMs, right? Why would I complain about people I don't know? Why would I complain about retrogrades that I have no control over? Why would I complain about the weather? Why would I complain about traffic? It's like, why are we doing that? Because it gets us some type of payoff, right? Some type of satisfaction. And so, yeah, tough love moment. I truly believe that the universe loves us, and I don't believe we're being tested. I believe we're always being upgraded. Right? What if you told that story instead? What if you still looked at what's showing up in your physical reality? It's okay to still not love it, to still not be happy with it. Well, what if you told the story instead that you were being upgraded, that there's literally wisdom being downloaded into you from this experience, that this literal medicine that is coming through you, that you're going to be able to give to your clients down the road. You're going to be able to share this with people. You're going to be able to help people. You're going to be able to help that friend. You're going to be able to help that future client. Like, what if you decided that the universe was upgrading you? And what if you decided that you were doing exactly what you're meant to as you are existing on this physical plane? What if you just decided that, of course, I'm learning these lessons. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be growing. I'm meant to be learning more lessons. I'm meant to be deepening my experience with this. I'm meant to be embodying this. Like, of course, thank you, universe. Thank you. You're showing me that I'm alive. You're showing me that I'm on my path. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. Thank you. And so I hope that this was a powerful reminder to you to hold up the mirror, and don't be afraid to hold up the mirror, right? How is this a reflection of me? I want to say this mean thing about this person. I want to judge this person. I see this person saying this thing on the internet and I don't agree with it. Hold up the mirror. What is this saying about me? How is this a reflection of me? How is this a result of me? What I'm thinking, what I'm believing, what I'm putting out there? And that's where you'll learn. But most people are not willing to get curious because it's always easier. That's, it appears easier, it feels easier in the moment. Short term, it's easier to judge other people. It's way easier to focus on what the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are doing versus your pain, right? It's way easier to judge that person who's putting themselves out online, who's, speaking vulnerably about something or sharing something. It's way easier to judge them than to hold up the mirror and go, well, what is this saying about me that I'm saying these things about someone I don't even know? Or what is this, triggering within me, right? That's where the real healing is. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that because it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. I've been there many times, right? That's why that's why people gossip. That's why people tend to surround themselves with people who think exactly the same as them, because that's their comfort zone, right? And so people who are growth minded, people who are committed to growth and wealth and success and influence and impact, they know that they get to hang out with people who represent where they want to go versus where they currently are, right? That doesn't mean they don't have friends who are, on their same level or whatever, but it's like, if you want to be rich, you get to hang around people who have a wealth mindset. You get to hang out with people who speak about ideas and wealth and money, right? But are you in conversations with people who complain? Are you in conversations with people who have a poverty mindset? Like, you have to look at those things. And, it's not comfortable, right? We are creatures of comfort. Naturally, we're conditioned to look for comfort. And that's the way our ego survives, is the ego wants to keep you comfortable in the same place. Even if you're not in danger, your ego will convince you that it's dangerous to start the business, that it's dangerous to hire the coach, that it's dangerous to post the thing, because you're going to grow, but that's going to get you out of your comfort zone. And the ego doesn't want that. And so that's why it's easier to default in judgment. It's easier to default in gossip. It's easier to default in being around people who are doing exactly the same things as you. And if you're not consciously stretching yourself, consistently stretching yourself, putting yourself in rooms with people who maybe know something you don't know, putting yourself in conversations with people where you're not the smartest person in the room, you're going to keep your same perspectives, right? And so we are here to learn. We are here to learn new perspectives, and nothing's set in stone, right? Like, when you were born, when you came into the 3D plane, you were born, you had a clean slate. You didn't have judgments. You didn't have biases. You didn't have beliefs, right? You actually, when you were born, you came into this world believing that you would be provided for, right? Babies don't worry about how they're going to get fed, or, if they're loved, or if they're good enough. Like, look at the way adults interact with babies. It's like adults will literally melt and become like, oh my God, I want to provide for this kid, right? And think about how you are around a baby. It's like, you just want to give it everything and hold it and love it and all these things. And then what ends up happening is the conditioning, what's modeled to us, what we see other people doing, what we hear, what other people tell us, what we observe. And then all these beliefs come to be, right? And all these beliefs create our reality. But when you're a baby, you're born with only two fears: fear of falling and fear of loud noises. That's all you fear as a baby, but everything else is learned. So I really want to invite you to be in the mindset of, how can I hold up the mirror? What is the lesson I can learn through this? If there's something in your reality that you do not like, that is in great contrast to what you actually want, ask the question, how did I create this? Okay, great. Now that I can see that, what am I choosing instead? The future is not real. The future is not some event out there. The future is now, right? And so this is something that trips people up, because they're like, what do you mean the future is now? No, it's not. Today is the 6th and the 10th is a future date. Like, the future is not now. But the thing is that we'll give our power away and we'll think, oh, hopefully this happens in the future, or hopefully this doesn't happen in the future. But we're always creating in the now moment, which is what creates the future. So the future isn't static. The future isn't finite. The future isn't waiting for us. We are creating it, right? So if you are afraid of running out of money in the future, you want to think about what you're emitting now, what you're a match for now, what you're believing and thinking about now, because that is what is going to create the reality of you either running out of money or having way more money in your experience, right? We have that power now. We have that control now. We have the ability now to create. And in fact, what's happening now, what's showing up right here, right now in this moment, is a manifestation of your past beliefs, thoughts, attitudes, energy. It's a complete manifestation. So welcome to your manifestation. This is your manifestation. This is what you've created. Amazing. Okay. It's feedback for you. Do you like it? No. Okay, amazing. What do you want to create now? It's like the universe is literally with you every moment and is like, what do you want to create now? What do you want to create now? What do you want to create now? More of the same or something different. Put your order in. We're ready to take your order. That's literally what the universe is doing. The universe is there with a pen and a paper, and it's like, what do you want? Oh, more of the same. Okay, you got it. Oh, you want something different. Okay, great. Let's make it happen. Like, the universe is totally on your side in this way, like 1000%. So I hope that this conversation landed. I hope that there was something in here, even if it's just like a tiny little thing. I hope that there's something that shifted for you or resonated in a deep way for you. I totally believe that if you heard this message, you were meant to. This was something that was like, you were led to this for a reason. And I really hope it resonated with you. And I want to share with you some ways that we can take this work deeper. If you're like, I love what you're saying, this really resonates, this is something I really want to work on, this is something I want to improve, I want to share some ways that we can do that together. So the first way is the Anything's Possible 8-week micromind. So this is a very intimate group coaching experience for women across all occupations. You don't need to be an entrepreneur or anything like that. This is for you if you want to vastly, majorly upgrade your inner world. And when I say inner world, I mean your mindset, your subconscious mind, the energy you hold, your thoughts, your beliefs. You want to massively upgrade everything that's happening internally so that you can see a shift, you can see a difference, you can see a different experience in your physical reality. So this is what we're going to be really leaning into inside of the micromind. Is we are going to be working together on an intimate basis, intimate group setting where you have unlimited coaching. And I'm also going to be teaching you my most practice, my techniques, my principles for manifestation that I've used to attract the partner of my dreams, to make over $500,000 in my online business in 3 years, to live in my dream home in Southern California, exactly where I want to live. I'm going to be teaching you these principles. And the beauty of the micromind is I'm not just teaching you and saying, here you go. We're working together for 8 weeks so that these become embodied. So that's not something that you just hear once and you go, oh, that's amazing, and never do anything with it. I'm going to be supporting you so you can have these be a habit, so you can have these be autopilot for you, so that you can start creating and attracting the things you want into your life way faster, way easier, way more consistently. This is what we're going to be doing inside of the micromind. Would love to have you inside. We are kicking off in less than 2 weeks in mid-October. Would love to have you inside. So you can reach out to me or click the link to learn more. Another way that we can take this work deeper is if you are an entrepreneur, if you are growing your online business and you are ready to step into your first 6-figure year, you want to make 6 figures in your business, I have my 6-figure flow mastermind one-on-one hybrid. So in here, this is a 6-month coaching container for you to really learn aligned strategies, really focus on energetics and also the inner work, growing your human side, right? A lot of what I do with my clients inside of 6-figure flow is, yes, we talk about business stuff, but we're also really tackling the mindset, the energy, the, embodiment piece. There's so much to it. And it is just so powerful to be in a space with like-minded entrepreneurs who are also on their growth path. They're also creating, also growing their business, and you also having unlimited support along the way. So this is 6 months and it's a rolling mastermind, meaning you can join today. You could save your spot to join in the future. Like you can start right away. So would love to take that journey with you. You can click the link in my bio. You can DM me to learn more about it. Would love to chat with you and see if it's a great fit. And if you are wanting to jump into a private coaching experience and really intentionally end the year together, create momentum now that is not only going to help you, create amazing things in the next 3 months, but also have it spill into beginning of the year. Because I believe that if you are thinking about your goals and intentions January 1st, you are late. You are in reaction. So I really want to support you in building the foundation, building up your inner world so that you can really create and manifest and create momentum around what you want next year, right? So the work we're doing now, it's going to spill into the future. And so if you really want to go on a private journey together, if you really want to do this work one-on-one, you want an experience that's completely customizable to you, you want me all to yourself for 3 months, you want me in your back pocket, you want to have private calls, private Voxer support, all that together, I would love to take this journey with you and end the year together. Message me to learn more about that. Message me to learn more about the special pricing that I have going on for that. And I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video, clicked on this episode, and I hope that it landed for you. I hope you're taking something away. I hope that it's shifted something for you. And it's such an honor to share this space with you. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mindful Babes podcast. I hope you loved today's episode and got some takeaways from the message shared today. If anyone in your life would benefit from hearing this episode, please be generous and share it with them on your story. Tag me on Instagram at The Mindful Babe. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave a review on the iTunes store. Your reviews are what keeps this podcast going, and I appreciate you so very much. Have an incredible day, babe.